one time he came and I heard the lock and I thought, okay, well, I'm fixing to get a whooping or something, but he didn't. He came and got me. He says, you need to go with me, and got me by the arm, took me out, put me in the car. He took me out on West Street, which is the street that goes down and curves in front of the penitentiary. The penitentiary is just right there on the street. And he took me out of the car at the penitentiary and pointed at the penitentiary and said, you're a worthless piece of crap, and that's where you're going. My earliest memory is being in a room with nobody but me. And I didn't have any interaction with my mother. And I didn't ever know my dad. And I had a stepdad. The only interaction that I had with him was when my mother would say, you need to go in there and punish him. And he would come in, I'd hear the unlock on the door, and he'd come in to punish me. And I spent the first 11 years like that. When I turned 11 years old, I was 11, he was asked to come in and punish me, and I met him at the door, and I hit him first. And the next day, I was taken to the Baptist Boys Ranch. And from there, I spent the next 7 years in various institutions in Oklahoma. Everything that had been prophesied over me as a child by my stepdad, because he always told me I was worthless, and he always told me I was no good, and all came true. He spoke it into my life. I got into everything you can get into. I had a drug habit, addictions to everything you could be addicted to, went to various jails, mental institutions, everything, because everywhere I went, it was programmed into me I had no value. I was going to show you I had no value. And I went to prison the first time at 19. I ended up in one of their units called The Rock. And it was just an individual cell with no ability to interact with nobody. I was in the same place once again. And all that did was reinforce the fact that I had no value. I got out of prison, automatically robbed a Pizza Hut and did all this other stuff, and tried to just exist, but with no ability to interact with people in a positive manner. If I got near you, you needed to check your stuff because I've stole something. I either stole something or I treated you with disrespect. Well, with all that being said to me, it set me on a journey. It set a course. It was prophecy. It was them saying, you're no good, and this is where you're going to end up. And so I'm on house arrest, third time out of prison. And then one day, man, I was sitting in that apartment, and I'd done a shot of dope, and I got mad. I sat in a chair, and man, I didn't know who I was talking to. But I just looked up at the ceiling. The dope's still in front of me. There's people still in the bathroom shooting dope. And I looked at the ceiling and I said, man, I don't know who I'm talking to, but if you'll get this stuff off of me, I'll live for you like I live for it. And that day was the last day I ever did any dope. They finally let me come out of the dope house and live in my sister-in-law's laundry room. And when I got to her laundry room, I had a washer and a dryer, and I had a TV that set up on the dryer, and I had a little bunk, and I would go to church, and I thought, man, I got to fix this, I got to fix this other thing, I got to fix this thing, I got to fix all this stuff before I can ask Jesus into my heart. And one night, August 7th, 1993, I was sitting in that laundry room. It was a Saturday night, and I was watching a guy on TV, an evangelist, and I can't remember his name, I wish I could. But he said, if you're waiting to fix all your stuff before you come to Jesus, you never will. I dropped to my knees in that laundry room and asked Jesus to come into my heart. And he did. Man, I remember that moment. He set me free. And I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know what freedom was. All I knew was I was worthless. But he said he loved me. Man, it ain't been easy. It's been hard. But man, I wouldn't trade a moment of what I've had with him for any of that life before. They say sin is fun. Yeah, it is. It's going to take your life. He gave me life and still accepted me a sinner and set me free. And in 2016, on January 8th, I walked into the prison. First time with Christianity 101. And dude, thousands have heard Christianity 101 since then. They've heard 101. They've spent weeks with me of me telling them how valuable they are. The heart was, I wanted to go into the prisons and disciple men, but at the same time, I wanted to have men come out and be discipled to change. Because when I came into my walk with the Lord, people got around me like this, and they would do precepts with me. I'd go to Bible studies. I never missed church. Even in the midst of all my mess, they would make sure I went to church. In my heart, I knew I wanted to do something more than just go into prison and tell them how good it could be. I wanted to come out and see how good it can be. I was given a house, a 2-story house was given to me to do with exactly what God had put on my heart. And so this house is just the beginning. There's going to be multiple houses, and there's going to be a ranch. The only way that I've even got to this place is because people got up beside me. People got beside me. And the only way these guys that come into this house will get anywhere is as we come up beside them and we tell them the truth. We're transparent. We love on them. We let them know when they missed it, and we let them know when they didn't. We tell them when they did right. We tell them it's okay. If we just do that, they'll find value. And when they find value, the prison will not be an option.